you know, we get a lot of stuff that ends up on the cutting room floor. And right here, you have a little bit that recorded, was part of something, but so here it is. Enjoy. It is so. The things that it's not like, it's not Brokeback Mountain, it's not Torchwood Trilogy, because we get to actually end well. Well, Torchwood Trilogy ends reasonably well, but there's a lot more.
It's not that kind of story. Anyway.
That was also fun, and there was humor in it, and there was drama in it, and this is much more lighthearted. This is and it's, of course, Brokeback Mountain was just pure utter drama and sadness. It is more the Gilded Cage Roman holiday thing, but with a good ending, and the difference being that both of them are high standing, have high position, because it's not the commoner finds the prince, or the journalist finds the prince. No, it is definitely both of them have stuff at stake, but they are so different and have such different expectations out of life that Henry says he would have loved to have just been a writer. And I think if you marry Alex, you can be a writer. Sure. You know, there's nothing expected. I mean, other than showing up at social events and state events that the spouse of a president has to attend. But other than that, you can pretty much do. I don't know if that's true, but I think it's possible. In the Old Guard, we also had a really, really good male couple. The difference being that we don't see much development in their relationship, and they're not the main. It's not a romance story. It's just they happen to be
together.
Yeah, 2 out of the 5 are together, and they happen to be men, and we love that. But this is different. Then there's. If you harken back a little bit to the Birdcage, it's difficult to compare with that, because the Birdcage, they're older and they have kids and it's the whole thing. But the thing with the Birdcage is one of them tries to sort of like become a woman in order to be socially acceptable. So we're well past that, and I don't think I will ever.
And the Birdcage is a different era.
It's a different era, and I don't even think I could do that one for this channel, because it's just great. I love Robin Williams, I really do. But I
want to do the Birdcage and
the
French originals.
Yeah, that with the French one next to it. Yeah, I mean Precilla, Queen of the Desert, and then
again a different age. Age.
And then To Wong Foo with Love. Julie Numar. I think that those are a little easier to do, but the Birdcage I think is very, very cringe.
But the Birdcage has its roots in the 70s. It's old.
Yeah. So this is how far we've come, and I think that's great to see. So I want to go back even further. So we got Children's Hour.
That's 50s.
It's actually 61. You'd be surprised. It's 1961.
But the story is from
Possibly, I don't know. I have no idea why they even made that film, but that's beyond cringe, because that is effectively saying you might as well kill yourself if you happen to be gay. And they didn't even do anything. It's not even like they were caught doing anything together, and there was never anything going to happen between them.
One person had feelings towards another person.
Yeah, and that's why she committed suicide. So sorry for spoilers for that, but I don't recommend that movie. If you want to see something shocking, yes, definitely see that movie. The Children's Hour. So that's that kind of life. And maybe that's the life where that grandfather, the king, comes from. Because nobody else in that movie has a problem with it. Except in this movie, in Red, White and Royal Blue. He's the vestige of the old thinking of all of this stuff. Like all these movies that have presented being gay as an absolute no-go area. Going back one more step. Mädchen in Uniform.
That was Germany.
Girls in Uniform. So that's a story about Prussia and girls' schools, and that actually ends with acceptance. Which is
That's
a whole
German.
different thing. It's German, it's not Hollywood.
The thing about Children's Hour, Mädchen uniform also, but the Children's Hour, what is important about that movie is that the subject came up. That is all. It doesn't
literally
matter
all it does.
how the subject comes up and how it
Yeah.
ends. It's immaterial. The fact that it is now a subject we can talk about.
Yeah.
And that is...
Because they couldn't talk about it.
Exactly.
And it still falls under the Hays Code and the studio system.
Yeah. But
And every
now-
once in a while they wanted to say something.
Exactly, and that's why the thing is in black and white. If it does got good stars,
Yeah.
and Mädchen in uniform had something similar, but it's in Germany, and they had completely. They don't have a Hays Code. They have a completely different history with it. But it also exists to make the subject a subject to talk about.
Yeah. And there are two versions of that. There's a 1930s version and there's a 1950s version of
and
that.
the 1950 version it needed to underline it again.
Yeah.
Was now in color with a very popular actress.
Yeah, which in Children's Hour they had Audrey and they had Shirley
But
McLaine.
this isn't color; it's black and white.
Yeah, but they had A-listed actresses for it,
And that's
so that gives a line in it saying we need to talk about this. It's a cry for help and
the interview with Shirley McLaine about that. I just happened to glance at one of the little bit of the headlines. It said that they made the movies and they did not talk about it because they could not talk about it amongst themselves about it because it was that much of a taboo. But it's still so they didn't talk about how to do this. So she was sort of left to do it.
Yeah, Audrey has said that as well in interviews. Is that they did not discuss the ramifications of what.
Because it wasn't possible.
That this woman was going to actually commit suicide over just the fact that somebody has discovered that she was lesbian.
Yeah.
And they couldn't discuss it. And that shows not only what they're trying to show, but also what was happening for the actresses in real life.
But
They
now,
just couldn't.
It is beautiful to see that there's just a movie about being gay that is maybe a rom-com, a little bit more serious, but it is completely there to do. Wonderful.